Lexus Exodus, leading the Black woman to the Exodus, one divester at a time. How are y'all doing? I had to hop on here just because of all the craziness of this stupid ass viral video that I've been observing lately. And I'm not going to say this man's name because he already is getting a lot of notoriety with his bullshit antics. So this man on this video will remain nameless. I will call him Dusty Zeta Male, not Beta, Zeta. Download Tyrone. You can call him whatever you want to, but I'm not going to give him any more clout than what he already has since he's gone so extremely viral for denigrating a Black woman for wanting an equal earner. The poor girl earnestly came onto his show because he calls himself a dating consultant, and he pretty much tore her a new asshole and was disgusting and nasty and berated her. And pretty much told her that she wasn't shit and that she would not be able to attract the type of man that she wanted. So I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, but I will play it for you anyway, and then we'll.
I honestly want a six-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
And ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Why is it so what?
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one of you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
So,
did you, I mean, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
I mean, my body is not average, so.
But ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but.
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay. Average looking women, Average looking woman who's older. Average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son. Average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
Sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone, straight up, because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. And the only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina. But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities. And that's the reality. Men don't care about your money. Not the kind of men that you want. We don't care about your money. It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids. And you're average. And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you. See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I looked at you and I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
So, what is your advice for women that?
All right, I'll tell you my advice, man, because you're not listening to me. This is why I always recommend you need therapy. Because you seem like a sweet woman, but you're not getting it.
You're being so mean.
Don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here. And I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you. And I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone. I'm tired of y'all doing this shit.
All right. That's enough of that bullshit. I can't even stand to watch it. I've seen this thing so many times. And Black women, y'all not clapping back hard enough for this nigga. I mean, y'all not matching his energy. This dude is disgusting. And all the only backlash I see is women crying, oh, that was disrespectful. And then I even see some women supporting this bullshit. So here I am. I see myself in this poor girl. That's why this really resonated with me. I'm a chocolate girl as well. I'm in my 30s and self-made, successful, was a single mother. I'm 32 and have a bachelor's and a master's. And I bring in 6 figures as well. And I'm a chocolate girl. So this really resonated with me because I feel like this type of these types of ideas are not uncommon and are very prevalent in the Black community. So I had to hop on just to clap back and then also just to give everybody a reality check. So here we go. So, like I said, I see myself in this girl. I was also like her, devoted to Black men. I wasn't attracted to other men. I didn't know anything about hypergamy. I didn't know anything about um, dating up or dating people with value, or just being very particular about the type of person that you should date. Like most Black women, I just dated who I thought was attractive, and default were the men in my community, because that's all I grew up around. And I married Dusty Zeta in my early 20s. And I'll tell you guys that life really sucked for me. He was a low earner. He also had very bad credit. We struggled with wage garnishments and all sorts of bullshit. Eviction notices. He would walk off and go from job to job, low earning jobs, and just didn't bring much to the table. And on top of that, he was physically abusive, and he was a cheater. Which for me, this is totally off topic, but it's like, pick a struggle, right? Like, how you gonna be broke and be beating women's asses and had a nerve to be a cheater? But this is the shit that we tolerate and that we okay in green light in the African American community. So, anywho, so that situation left me broke and broken. I ended up leaving that situation in the middle of the night because I was attacked, and ended up just having to leave with the clothes on my back, and ended up being homeless, and also ended up being bankrupt because of that situation by 25. And I was a single baby mama, and it was awful. So that situation really changed me and really traumatized me. I hit my head very hard, but I learned from that situation. And I really thought, it left such a bad taste in my mouth. I really thought that I would pretty much be single forever. And I'm just still dating, have fun. So I wasn't totally closed off to dating and mingling. I just was closed off. I just knew that I was never going to be married again, because I never wanted to go through that again. I vowed to myself that it's not worth it. I'd rather be single and successful, or if I'm going to struggle, I'd rather struggle on my own. But I'm not going to be in a situation where I date or entertain anyone who was not able to add benefit to my life. And it's interesting because people always joke and ask about Ciara's prayer. How did she get Russell Wilson? But I really think it starts with just, first off, establishing standards and your priorities and what you will tolerate and what you don't tolerate. And I think the other thing is being open-minded, because although a man may not be your quote-unquote type, that does not matter if he treats you well. And so that should be your priority, not his swag, not how he dresses, not even appearance, or definitely not race. Your priority should be, what does this man add to my life if I decide to, is this going to be the best use of my time, pretty much. And in Ciara's situation, look at her track record before Russell. She dated Bow Wow, for God's sakes. She dated Future and 50, and all of them are notoriously, we know they have baby mamas everywhere. Future, I think, has 10. 50's son don't even talk to him because he's so toxic and such a nasty person, and berates his child's mother. Even Bow Wow, like all these men, if you notice the common theme here, all these men are fathers, and but have never been married, and have a bunch of fatherless children, probably about 15 between the three of them. So anywho, so Ciara ended up, hitting her head hard like I did. She ended up being one of 10 baby moms. Thankfully, that wasn't my situation, but it was both of our only child. But still, it doesn't make it any better. But when she learned her lesson, she established standards and reprioritized what she looked for in a man. And she met Russell, who is a Black male, but he's nerdy, and certainly he doesn't align with the type that she had previously dated. But he treats her well, and that was what was important to her. And now she's married with millions, is being taken care of. Russell seems like an awesome, very engaged stepdad, and they have their beautiful family. So that's what I did. I did something similar. So I met my current husband 5 years ago. And he is non-black. I won't say his ethnicity because I'm trying to be a little bit vague here, which is also I'm not showing my face. People really get offended and call foul when you say the truth. They get really upset by the truth. But so I'm gonna be brutally honest and no holds barred, and I'll also remain anonymous because I know this will be controversial and won't sit well with a lot of people. But he owns a very successful business here in Ohio, and he's childless, but he accepts my child. He also makes a lot of money. He makes more than double of what I make. And he's a man. He understands that a man's role is to be a provider. When I met him, I told you guys I had to file for bankruptcy by the age of 25. When I met him, my credit score was only a 580. He helped me work on that and added me to his lines of credit and his credit cards, and also co-signed for a car for me, and just really diligently worked alongside myself to improve that. So fast forward to today, my credit score is a 780. Uh, he also put down $20,000, a down payment on our $300,000 house in the suburbs, and it's beautiful. He also recently, and this is really crazy, and it's just like the icing on the cake, wrote a $40,000 check to pay off my student loans last month. Really great man, a provider, and really just understands what it means to support the woman that you're with and to lead a family. He's awesome. He's amazing. He also just this week actually put $10,000 on my brand new Lexus. And he's incredible. And I want Black women to know that I never would have met my husband if I continued being so race loyal and continued dating based off of really silly reasons. If I excluded my options only to Black males, I would not be here and be as happy as I am. Not only that, he is a family man, he is loyal, and he's a sweetheart, and he treats me like a princess. And he is the nicest, most genuine, kind person I've ever met. And I'm gushing here, but I really want to share my experience with you guys because I've been dragged through the coals like this woman on DL Tyrone's channel. I've been told that nobody would want me, and that I'm ugly. Quote verbatim, my husband told me I'm Black and ugly and nobody would want me. So I just want Black women to understand that the treatment that you're subjecting yourself to by staying within a community and only solely dating men that are your same ethnicity, you're really limiting yourself to a lot of dusties and would be better off if you opened up your options. Anywho. So, and the other thing I'll say is like quote unquote, high value men are not hard to find. And this one was laughable because it's like he's talking about six figures like it's just some unicorn or some, I don't know, shoot, a 4-leaf clover. You'd be better off looking for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow or something. Like it's just so unique and so difficult to find. That is not hard to find. Six figures is just $100,000. And depending on where you live, it really isn't much at all. If she lives in North Carolina, so she definitely lives a comfortable lifestyle making six figures. But in New York City, six figures is not a lot of money at all. In California and LA, $100,000 is not a lot of money at all. So he tells this woman that she's average looking, and that she won't be able to attract high earning males. And I think that this woman is pretty. She's obviously well put together. She's polished. She's not a supermodel, but I feel like she said, if she, puts herself together and puts her best foot forward, it's not difficult for her to turn heads. Just the fact that she's in her mid-30s, has a child, and is a size 3 is amazing. And she even said, we can't see her physique, but she even says her body is an average, which was really cringy because I why the fuck are you trying to prove to this man that you're appealing? But let's play devil's advocate and say that she is average, or let's even, say that she's worse. She's hideous. I don't believe that, but let's just play along here. She is not an average person, period. Overall, she's not an average earner. She makes six figures with a business that she started on her own. So she's obviously very ambitious. She's obviously very smart, because it is difficult to make that amount of money when you're creating it from nothing. She is a hard worker, has a great work ethic. And she's a six-figure earner and simply wants to meet someone who can bring the same thing that she brings to the table. And this fool's response was to berate this Black woman. And, I thought it was really interesting to me, because I was kind of like listening to this, and I'm like, holy crap, I can see from a mile away, this man is your textbook abusive personality. He is an abuser, and I would not be surprised. I read somewhere that he has been married 3 times. I wouldn't be surprised if those women came out and said that he physically assaulted them, because he has signs of being very, very, very abusive. I even Googled the signs of a domestic abuser, and there were 10, and I want to say he aligned with half of them, maybe even more, his abusive quality. So he berated this woman. He undermines her accomplishments. Abusers do that. So the way he talks about men who make six figures is like they're unicorns. Oh my God, it's just so difficult to do that. They're super special. They're high value men, he kept saying. But when we talked about her income, she's, on the other hand, just a business owner of a grooming business. He said verbatim, it's not like you own Microsoft or something. So it's like, yeah, the double talk, like how on one end it's only a super high value, very rare unicorn male makes six figures, but you make six figures, but that's not much. It's not much when she does it. And also he says she's not attractive. Another textbook sign of an abuser. Abuse includes ranging from insulting your looks, and I'm reading this off a domestic violence website, your intelligence, insulting your worth, and doesn't always include foul language, which he did. But the main purpose of verbal abuse is to wear down your self-esteem so that you're compliant and reliant on your partner and no one else. That's what he wants to do to Black women. And I sometimes go down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and remember one time I came across a channel where a guy really outlines how can you make a woman insecure and how can you always be have the upper hand. And it really is sad and sickening. He outlines all of these manipulative things that you can do to ensure that your woman's self-esteem is so low that she won't look anywhere because she'll just be happy and will feel lucky that she has you. And that's what he's doing. They don't want Black women to have options. They want to be able to explore their options, to leave and divest, and to go, fuck Becky and Myling and Maria. But they still want the option to come right back to you once they're done doing that. But they don't want you to go anywhere. So I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. I also thought this really illustrates how important it is for Black women to divest. If you had any thoughts or any second guesses about whether or not you should date outside of your race or date multiculturally, I think this is it. This should help solidify any doubts that you had. So even if you look at the stats. So I was looking at the data, and I was just thinking, we know there's not very many eligible Black men out here. So there's 22 million Black women. Then there's 20 million Black men in America. So right there, you're starting off with a disadvantage because you outnumber Black men by 2 million women. Not only that, I pulled up the stats, 6 million of Black men are married. So 29% of Black men are married. So that takes out another category. 6.4 million have children with more than one woman. So they have multiple baby moms. 6 million, 32%. So 4 million of these Black men are gay. So 20% are gay. So that takes a whole nother batch of men that you are unable to date. 1.6 to 2 million Black men are in prison. 2 million of our Black men are in prison. And then on top of that, 9 million Black men reported no earnings in 2019. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want y'all to listen to those stats. So after that, so let's not even include the ones who don't have a job. Let's just make sure that we're excluding the ones who are married. We took those out. The ones who have children with more than one baby mother. We're not even including the ones who just have one child or have multiple children with the same woman. But this is just excluding the people who have multiple children and who are sperm donors and just go around poking women willy-nilly with no accountability. Then also the gay men. And then if you take away the 2 million Black men that are in prison, we're left with 2 million Black men that we are over here fighting for between 22 million Black women. Are y'all listening to this? Are y'all listening to this? And I saw a video too. Shout out to Tanya TKO, I believe her name is, yeah. And she did a video where she kind of debated a Black male about this issue. And he's like, well, I don't listen to statistics. All you need is one Black male to like you. But it's like, if you look at the numbers, it's not possible. It's not possible. That's like saying, okay, well, I really, really, really like purple jelly beans, but I'm going to reach into this pot that I know is full of 20 million green jelly beans and really just hope I can find a purple one. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Statistically, this is impossible. So your odds of, if you're only going to date Black men, your odds of finding someone who is, who earns money, so not even a high earner, but has a job, who is not homosexual, who is not in prison, who doesn't have children or multiple baby moms, who, doesn't have like a felon or a sketchy track record, who aren't married, your odds are slim to none, Black women. And I want y'all to really understand that. And I don't know what else to tell you. And y'all still want to follow these men to the ends of the earth when the statistics are so bleak. When statistically these men will likely fall in one of these categories. That's not even including the men that are homeless or the men that have mental issues or the men who are substance abusers. That's not even including data on that. Shoot, if we really looked at every facet that excludes a man from being an eligible, dateable person in the Black community, it looks very, very bleak. And I need for you guys to accept that. And if they don't fall in one of those categories, the bar is set so low, they think they're the cream of the crop, even though they're just average, just like this man. So average Joe Blow is king in a world full of idiots. Have y'all ever watched Idiocracy? It's a really cool movie, pretty old, I think about 20 years old, maybe even older. But it's about a man who is low on the totem pole. He's a white guy, and he is, hold on, I gotta let my dogs out. And he doesn't do well on this. He's like in the military, but all he does is he's a paper pusher. And his IQ is very mediocre, very average, probably lower than average. But he somehow gets locked up in this time capsule and ends up waking up like a millennial later. And he's the smartest person in the world. So he ends up becoming the president because everyone is idiots. So, and that's what I mean. And that's how it is within our community. Expectations are so low and the bar is set so low for men that even if you are the most mediocre person, you will get praised and will have the biggest head because that's doing great in comparison to most of the other Black men in your community. And that's why, and I don't know about you guys, but I've never spoken to a non-Black person or male who brags about owning a home or having a car, having a job, or being educated. You know why? Because that's the minimum. That's expected. You don't get to get a gold star because congratulations, you're being an adult. That's what you're supposed to. But for whatever reason, I mean, you'll hear men within our community say, oh, I got a job. Oh, I'm single. Oh, I don't have any baby moms. And you know why? Because they get congratulated for bringing the bare minimum to the table. That's how limited our options are. We like to condone and pat people on the back if they are only able to check the bare minimums from a list. So I would encourage Black women to go where you're appreciated. 6 figures is not a lot of money. It isn't. But it is to a lot of Black men just because there's not many eligible, successful Black men in our community, and that's just being frank. So I would encourage you to open up your options to date diversely, and who knows? I'm not saying go to the total opposite, but maybe just date men from different cultures, men from different backgrounds, and also stop being so willing to be the butt of the joke. I mean, aren't you tired of getting these men's asses to kiss? Like, aren't you tired of being expected to follow these men to the ends of the earth and but still be disrespected? Still fighting in the streets, risking your life for men who will turn around and tweets will come out saying that dark bitches bring dark days. Seriously, y'all. Don't let these motherfuckers disrespect you. Do not let them degrade and disrespect you, especially not no doo-doo dick niggas. This man is clearly gay. It is clear you like men, sir. Gay men argue with women like that. I remember in school recollecting how only the gay boys would get into it with the teachers and with the other girls. Only the gay boys did that, never the straight men. They are the only ones who argued and went back and forth with women. Even low income men don't do that. Men do not engage with women like that. They just don't. And it's nothing wrong with being gay, but as a closeted man, you don't get to tell straight women what to do to attract other straight men. You're a gay, sir. So this conversation don't even apply to you. See, y'all done pissed me off. See, and motherfuckers like doing that shit because y'all allow it. And y'all will let these motherfuckers talk to y'all crazy like, oh, choose better, it's your fault for dating a loser. But then when you turn around and try to do better for yourself and try to establish standards and try to be more selective, then you too uppity. Then you think you too good. Then you have an overinflated ego. Which is it, sir? Which is it? Is she an idiot for making a mistake and getting pregnant by a loser? Or is she, does she need to humble herself? Because she's not a prize. Because she's an average looking woman. Which is it? Y'all piss me the fuck off. It's the same thing with when we talk about 6-figure men. Oh, they're high value. Oh, they're rare. Oh, they're this unique unicorn. It's like finding a needle in the haystack. But when we talk about her bringing 6 figures to the table, suddenly it's not good enough. Suddenly she's just the owner of a grooming business. Even though she's self-made, even though she's created these things on her own from the ground up, suddenly it's not good enough and it doesn't matter. I don't know, y'all. So I'm just going to encourage y'all to do better. Don't take this too hard. Really, this is just a very manipulative way to lower our self-esteem and to make us feel like we're not good enough and that we're not wanted. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, y'all. Stay blessed.